Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at the Tier 10 French destroyer, Kleber. We're on the map Okinawa. This is a work-in-progress ship. The stats are not final, and this is my first impression on this work-in-progress ship. I'm very excited because the potential playstyle that's available to the player is a very unique one, and you will, of course, see and hear about all of that. Now, for my commander, it's a pretty typical commander build. I am leveraging that speed boost consumable with the super upgrade in slot 2. I do go for a little bit more maneuverability. I also have rate of fire for my guns. I have 8 139mm guns. And then for my commander, concealment, basic firing training, advanced firing training, and expert marksman. Now the reason for expert marksman and advanced firing training is quite simple. I want to have faster turret traverse. It's about 20 seconds or so with the rate of fire module. I needed to be a little bit faster than that so that I can actively maneuver. Because, as the more astutely aware viewer might catch on, there is no smoke or heal as an option for this ship. What you see is what you're going to get. So, you've got to make main battery reload, damage control, and speed boost work on this ship. Otherwise, you're dead weight. You're taking away from someone else, and speaking of taking away from someone else, I am in a real pickle. Because this Harugamo, he caught me completely broadside with an enemy aircraft carrier going to spot. Now, he is also very aggressive here. He's not trying to hide himself at all. And you know what? Normally, I would say that's a good thing, but not here. Now, look at this guy's health. He's about 75%. But we do, 3,500 first salvo, 1,700 second salvo, 3,000 third salvo, and this is going boom, 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 boom because of that main battery reload. Look at this guy. He is getting chunked out. And he finally decides to drop his smoke. But guess what? It's too late. You've already died, my friend. And that is exactly what the French DDs can bring to the table. That sort of snipe potential that radar had in the past, and that these French DDs can sort of bring to bear against not only DDs, but cruisers and battleships. Main battery reload, incredibly potent. It better be, because I don't have smoke or heal, and that's the most controversial aspect of these guys. It's going to be a really high skill requirement because you're going to have to actively maneuver. That's your only option for avoiding incoming damage. But clearly it's possible because we were caught way broadside. It was so bad I felt like I was going to die there in that moment, but we didn't. Now we only have like a third of our health left in this game, and there's only one enemy ship dead, but I think we can make this work, and we're going to at least give it a good college try. Now, the enemy aircraft carrier, he's trying to drop on friendlies. We got a Minotaur, and there ain't no way he's going to have success. My plan is quite simple. Capture the base. Now, obviously, we're going to do that, and my speed boost is pretty much only 30 seconds or so before it has a minute and 30-second recharge. Some of you might be wondering, Notser, why? Why didn't you take Superintendent? Because you have main battery reload module, which of course would benefit from it, and then speed boost, which of course benefits from it too. Now, effectively, I would be wasting a charge though, because it lasts so long with that module upgrade, and it's a French speed boost, so it's really potent. It's by far one of the best traits of the ship, and I mean there's so many good traits about it. You got the main battery reload, of course, which is a whole nother awesome advantage that you have in certain situations against the enemy. So we were able to spot the torpedoes. We did get some weird personal task or whatever mission for the game. I'm trying to find and locate the enemy. There was a Shima who was last seen at B, and obviously there was smoke, and I sent torpedoes for a reason because something laid that smoke. Now, whether he was actually still there remains to be seen. He's probably not there. But I'm just trying to get into a position where I can punish these players as they're moving towards A point. Now, we got pretty lucky there. We got a couple fires, I think, And so far, it looks like Yamato is just gonna let it burn. However, he's broadside. And one of the key features that was sort of buffed and introduced to the French DDs before they came out was an improvement to their armor-piercing potential. Now, the damage output didn't really go up, but oh my, the gun velocity, the drag on the shells themselves has dropped off a ton, so you can have very, very effective long-range gunnery. Both AP and HE. There isn't that discrepancy between the AP-HE situation that the Terrible launched with. It no longer has that, thankfully. They buffed the Terrible to mirror the up-and-coming French DD line, so that's going to be really exciting. But for this ship, they both work very well, and I was trying to punish the Buffalo very similar to the Yamato. Oh, he was going to show a perfect broadside, take full AP damage, and not try and mitigate it at all. Well, not quite, but just look at all the shells that we can get in the sky. It's really intimidating. It's one of those traits that I think every French player, cruiser, even some battleships, loves. It's just a core feature that is a real treat to experience, and you know, one that I don't see myself getting bored with. So we are not looking too good this game. We're down 4 ships. They have 2 bases to our 1, and Sea Point is under capture. But I can't really worry about that right now. I'm attempting to assist in focusing down the Yamato for my team, and I'm on the fence, whether fire high explosive or armor piercing. Well, I decide, okay, we're not doing quite as much high explosive damage, and I'm not getting any fires. I'm hoping that the armor piercing will net me a little bit more damage. And it definitely nets us damage, but the friendly Lexington finishes the target off, and we can transition to another potential target. So you might be wondering, okay, the guns look pretty good. We've got 8 139mm guns on 4 gun turrets. This effectively has about 16 or 17 second turret traverse with the rate of fire module, basic firing training, all of those considered. The base reload of this ship is 7 seconds. So with basic firing training and the rate of fire module, I can get it down to 5 seconds or 5.2 or so. That's a big pickup. That's a really big pickup, and I expect most players will probably lean that way on this ship and all of the French DDs, honestly. But as we're, relocating to another side of the flank, because I'm terrified that we're going to lose this game in the next 2 or 3 minutes, so I'm going to try and make something happen. And the one place on the map that I think I can make something happen is going to recapture Sea Point. Oh, and sorry about the WinZip trial expiration. I hate notifications that pop up over my game. I have no idea why it did that, but it's gone already. But yeah, we have to do something. This is a loss in so many ways, and some players are like, Notser, why are you even sharing this game? Well, clearly it's going to go longer than the next 2 minutes. Minotaur is successful in killing that Shima, and that Shima was kind of between B point gap, so that's a big pickup for us. That means there's only 1 DD left on the enemy team, and that's the Z-52. And we're doing pretty good damage to the Montana, but he's sailing away, and oh yeah, the Minotaur. He did get a big kill on the Shima, but he also got himself brutally killed. I think he was between 3 or 4 enemy ships, and there's nothing he could have done. But he was trying to play the objective. Clearly, he was trying to help the team. He just failed miserably in that endeavor. And, I had other takes where I'd be like, I don't know about that play, but I appreciate that he was trying. That's more than can be said about a lot of players recently. A lot of super passive play. But that is not something the French DDs will do very well. They are not passive players. They are fast, lightning assassins that want to try and punish, and I wanted so desperately to try and punish this Z-52. Took so much unnecessary damage, or even shots out. I think he's missing us just because of our speed. It's insane. It's incredibly intimidating to try and track a target this fast, and oh, speaking of intimidation, I think the Z-52... Maybe he tried to move forward to keep us spotted. Maybe he felt like we were going to smoke out. I don't know why he left his smoke, but we were able to do some pretty good damage to that target. Probably 10,000 damage, all things considered. My torpedoes are arriving, and I'm hoping to hit him, but I do believe he has hydroacoustic. He's a little too, sure of himself, and I fear that that's because of hydroacoustic. And yep. Sure enough, he definitely has hydro, so he saw those torpedoes as if I saw them. But he's making a huge mistake. He's not tracking me very well, and that's partially because of the speed boost. It is just so good at creating this elusive playstyle. French cruisers are definitely enjoying the power that speed boost has to offer, and those Gunnerys, they are legendary in their ability to avoid incoming damage. But if you just take the time to really understand how fast he's going, you can more or less get some chip damage on a target. And you're not going to kill him, but chip damage is better than missing completely. One other interesting aspect of the French DD playstyle is the torpedo systems. They are long range enough that the concealment of the ship, if you invest in that, is adequate so that you can get in and stealth torpedo, like an enemy battleship that happens to be approaching a objective. Clearly, we wiped him out, and we just barely dodged those AP shells. I wish I had the speed boost module, the consumable, sorry. It really helps me play safe. Obviously, that goes without saying, because it gives you speed, but I needed that to really dominate him more cleanly. And it is leaving me in a position where I just feel like I don't know what I can do. But what I can do is capture the base and see what happens. This enemy Montana, clearly he wanted to help his teammate out. I am so desperate for teammates to help with this enemy target. I am absolutely going to hold my fire because everything that this battleship is telling me, he wants me dead and me alone. I'm not going to take that risk. So I would love for him to commit to firing his guns. Any second now. Please, will you fire your guns? And even I'm over here going, ooh, I would love to switch my ammo. Ooh, let's maybe switch to high explosives, see what happens. I'm getting a little too antsy. Oh, come on. Why aren't you pulling the trigger? I wait out until the speed boost consumable comes off a cooldown, activated, and I figure, screw it. He's holding his fire way too long. Fire, probably 2 or 3 seconds later, he pulls the trigger. It's high explosive. He wanted to use it against me. And fortunately, we waited him out just long enough. I mean, if he had the chance to react 2 or 3 seconds later, he probably would have held his fire and traversed it over to us. As it stands, though, we've got a fire on him. He is slowly working himself towards me, and I feel so afraid. We're way too close at this range, but it's the Montana. The gun velocity is pretty awful. So even if he snapshots us, he still has to deal with the horrendous gun velocity. You are not going to enjoy firing on French DD's American battleships. His back guns are firing. I'm going to try and actively dodge. Looks like we dodge pretty much all of it. Friendly Alaska is able to finish him off, and we mitigated the damage quite well. That's another aspect of the French DDs that I don't think people really appreciate. Since they can't equip smoke, they will always be a guaranteed target as long as they are firing their guns for the enemy to engage. Because of that, it might mean that a friendly ship near you will be more likely to survive to a later stage of the game and help you out. Same goes for the aircraft carrier. I don't fear the torpedo squadrons at all. I don't even fear some of the dive bomber squadrons because 54 knots, I mean, it's incredibly fast. You can juke, you can pause, you can turn, you can throw them off in so many different ways that the active maneuvering, the active mitigation aspect of the ship is really is outstanding. And I am absolutely trying desperately to help my teammates. Clearly we have the speed to go out and come back. And I love that. You got the chance to chase down targets. You can use your main battery reload if you catch someone out. But it just wasn't enough to bring this game back completely. But I'm not disappointed. This game was great. I loved every moment of it. It was funny how caught we actually were against the Harugumo, and yet we somehow pulled that out. That rabbit out of that hat, that was magical. That was impossible, at least I thought before seeing that. We've got 3 kills, 150,000 damage done, 1.6 thousand base XP in a loss. We would have crushed the enemy. And, damage all around. High explosive, armor piercing, fire, floods. It's got it all, except for smoke and heal, which of course you're going to have to get used to. Thanks for watching. If you would like to check out more of my content, you can click most recent and most relevant uploads. You can also subscribe to the channel. Click the N. I do daily World of Warships content, how-tos, first impressions, reviews. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.